former President Trump under fire this morning. 2 investigations heating up over the last 24 hours. Coming up, we'll tell you what's happening today as the Department of Justice is set to review the documents seized at his Mar-a-Lago estate, while at the same time, the state of New York is suing him for fraud.
Plus, we are hearing from the attorney representing dozens of migrants flown to Martha's Vineyard. What he is saying does not add up about the governor's account.
And keeping a close eye on Hurricane Fiona and several other areas across the tropics, I've got an update for you.
It's a new day. This is CBS 12 News This Morning.
This morning, Hurricane Fiona, a powerful Category 4 storm as it heads towards Bermuda. Good morning, I'm Matt Lincoln.
And I'm Sam Kerrigan. This after passing through the Turks and Caicos Islands, the Dominican Republic, and Puerto Rico. Yeah, right now, recovery efforts are underway in the Turks and Caicos Islands after Fiona moved through. Take a look here. Authorities reporting a lot of damage at the Grand Turk Airport. Thankfully, no lives were lost on the island. Now you are looking at new video of the damage in Puerto Rico. The governor surveyed the damage with FEMA teams. Right now, the National Guard is helping deliver food and water to towns hit by the storm, as more than 1 million people are still without power. We know at least 10 people have died from this storm. And we're also keeping a close eye on Tropical Storm Gaston. 3 other areas of development in the Atlantic. It is busy out there.
Yeah, it seems like, one day the switch went on and now my day just became a lot busier too.
You were talking about, how slow it was for an extended period of time that you used to be seeing in the tropics. Then all of a sudden, here we are.
Yeah, so this isn't a surprise that we have 2 named storms plus 3 other waves. It just maybe seems like a bit of a total shock because the start of the season was silent. Right. Let's look right now at Fiona. So we've got this powerful Cat 4, winds at 130, moving north. Might weaken a little bit when it passes by Bermuda early tomorrow morning, but they're already going to start to feel effects throughout the day today, and those conditions are going to get worse out there for the next 24 hours. It'll make landfall as well up near Canada as it becomes post-tropical. We've also got Tropical Storm Gaston way off to our northeast, out near the Azores, and then there's 3 other waves that we are monitoring. We're watching the red blob closest. We're going to look at that in about 10 minutes, though. I want to get you at the door this morning. We do have a few showers that are moving onshore, especially along the immediate coastline of the Treasure Coast. Just maybe give yourself an extra, couple minutes or so. If you're going out for a walk or a run and you live across the Treasure Coast, you are going to encounter a brief shower out there. So we will see some rain here for the next couple of hours. Drier conditions expected later. Drier air is going to start to slide into our atmosphere. That's going to drop the rain chance quite a bit out there for us as we head into the day tomorrow. And the dew point temperature actually could drop for Friday, so it actually might feel slightly more comfortable as we move into the day tomorrow. Fall officially begins today at 9 o'clock tonight, so not such a bad thing to deal with the lower dew point temperature for Friday. We're back in the upper 80s later this afternoon, and we're going to stay there for pretty much the rest of the weekend. Matt and Sam.
Lauren, thank you. It's 6:03. Let's get a check on the roads right now. Vero Beach to Stewart, that's a 36-minute drive on I-95. That is normal for this time of morning.
We are following new developments on 2 big national stories. On your left is a live look at Mar-a-Lago. The Justice Department is resuming its review of about 100 top secret documents recovered from former President Donald Trump's Palm Beach home. On the right is a live look over New York City, where Attorney General Letitia James filed a lawsuit against Trump and 3 of his children, accusing them of fraud in their real estate dealings.
These are 2 of the many investigations the former president is currently facing.
Yeah, we have been following these stories for months. We have team coverage this morning. Danielle DeRoss is at the live desk looking into the latest lawsuit.
But we want to get right to our Kara Duffy live from Mar-a-Lago. Kara, what does the federal appeals court decision mean moving forward?
Well, Matt, Sam, at the core of this investigation, roughly 100 classified documents. And of course, the big question up until this point has been who should have access to them. And the latest decision by the federal appeals court is considered a big win for the government. Now, this here paves the way for the Department of Justice to continue its criminal investigation into the handling of those documents, which was previously blocked by a trial judge. The move also partially halts a special master's review of those 100 some records, which would have allowed Trump's legal team to see them. However, the special master is still able to continue his work reviewing the remainder of the material seized from Mar-a-Lago. We're talking hundreds of documents. Keep in mind the Court of Appeals and Special Master Raymond Deary had previously called on Trump's lawyers to explain if the documents have been declassified, something his team, though, would not clarify. So both determined determined that moving forward, the documents in question should be treated as classified, at least for the time being. Matt, Sam.
All right, Kara, thank you. Our team coverage continues now at the live desk with the lawsuit from the New York Attorney General alleging fraud at the Trump Organization.
Yeah, so Danielle, how's the former president reacting to these allegations?
Matt and Sam, Trump is using a term that we've heard him use many times in the past, calling this latest lawsuit a witch hunt. He posted this message on his social media network, Truth Social, last night. He's attacking the New York Attorney General, Letitia James, calling her a fraud who campaigned on a Get Trump platform. This is in response to the AG's press conference yesterday, where she announced a sweeping lawsuit against the former president, 3 of his adult children, and officials at the Trump Organization. The state is alleging that they inflated their worth of their assets by billions of dollars, defrauding banks and insurance companies and violating state law. The suit seeks $250 million in fines, and it would effectively bar Trump and his children from serving as officials in any company operating in New York State. Trump appeared on Fox News last night and said this to Sean Hannity.
Well, she campaigned on it 4 years ago. It was a vicious campaign, and she just talked about Trump, and we're going to indict him, we're going to get him. She knew nothing about me. I never heard of her.
This suit claims that Trump lied about the worth of several of his properties, including some here in Florida, like Mar-a-Lago, and golf clubs in Jupiter and Doral. The Attorney General says that she has referred this case for criminal prosecution to the Southern District of New York and to the IRS. Matt and Sam.
All right, Danielle, thank you. 6:07 now. This morning, attorneys representing some of the migrants suing after they were flown to Martha's Vineyard from Texas by Governor DeSantis are seeking a nationwide injunction to prevent more flights. Attorneys say 50 migrants, mostly from Venezuela, were lured to Martha's Vineyard with false promises of cash and jobs. The governor's office says forms in English and Spanish were given to migrants to give their consent to the flights, but an attorney representing some of the migrants says that was not the case.
The consent forms themselves are further evidence against the defendants. They clearly show the material information about how the relocation would occur, where they would go, was not included in the form, especially in the Spanish translation portion of the form.
State records show the state has paid over $1.5 million to an aviation company in connection to the migrant relocation program. Governor's office and state agencies have not said if the payments were in connection to the Martha's Vineyard flights.
Well, these lawsuits are getting a lot of attention from Florida lawmakers. Governor DeSantis' challenger in November, Charlie Crist, tweeted here, quote, Florida taxpayers have already paid over $1.5 million for Ron DeSantis' cruel human trafficking stunt. With lawsuits pending, it could be millions more. Now, Senator Marco Rubio posted a video on Twitter blasting the lawsuit, saying America is apparently the only nation on earth where you can enter by violating our laws and then a week later sue the government whose laws you violated. His contender in the race for senator, Val Demings, tweeted back saying that this is a shameless and cynical stunt from Marco Rubio. We are sick and tired of the political games he plays with Florida's immigrant community. He keeps proving why he doesn't represent us in the U.S. Senate.
And now taking a live look at the nation's capital, where the Federal Reserve once again raised interest rates 0.75% in hopes of fighting inflation. That means higher borrowing costs for things like credit cards, cars, and homes. Right now, electricity bills are up 16% compared to a year ago. Grocery prices continue to climb up 14%, and housing 6% higher, more than double than last year. Federal Reserve is expected to raise rates 2 more times this year, with the next hike coming in November.
6:09 now. Troubling numbers this morning for the state-run Citizens Property Insurance, as it reached more than 1 million policies this month alone. That's more than double the number 2 years ago, as private insurers drop customers to try to fight financial losses. 5 property insurers have already been declared insolvent, with customers of those companies turning to Citizens for coverage. Citizens board members blame lawsuits for rate increases for insurers who are on track to lose another $1 billion this year.
All right, 6:10 now. A Palm Beach County teacher accused of hitting students is officially terminated. Ahead, we're digging into a report finding several allegations against him.
Plus, several dogs and cats from a flooded shelter in Puerto Rico are now in South Florida. Coming up in 5 minutes, we'll tell you how you can adopt one of them. You're watching CBS 12 News This Morning, the one to turn to.